Fox News reporter Mike Tobin is there and joins us now live. Mike?
Well, hi, Judge. You can see the lights are still on here, but what also is going on, you've got this very familiar scene. Boards on the window, sandbags by the door. The local authorities say the time for making sandbags is over. They want people in the low-lying areas to get out of this area, get further north, get to higher ground. Now, there are some people in where we stand right now is the Ybor City, the historic district. You've got a lot of people still out enjoying the nightlife. I shouldn't say a lot of people, but this would be a Saturday night where it would be teeming in the bar area. But you do have the people who are out defying the storm, wandering the street. We're 27 feet above sea level where I stand right now. The mandatory evacuation zones are 15 feet above sea level and below. That's when you hear people talking about Zone A and Zone B. That's closer to the water. That's across the bay in Pinellas County. The barrier islands on the outside of Pinellas County are no-go zones as of 6 a.m. tomorrow, according to the sheriff. The problem, according to Sheriff Bob Gaultieri of Pinellas County, is that a lot of people are not respecting the mandatory evacuation orders. They're not going to send sheriff's deputies to arrest anyone who defies the order. In fact, they're not going to send sheriff's deputies to go get people when it gets bad and you could put the deputies at risk. Here's the sheriff.
In the middle of this thing with 100-mile-an-hour winds, we're not going out there to get them. So if they want to make a bad mistake and they want to make a bad decision, then you get to make the bad decisions in life, but you also bear the consequences of those bad decisions.
Now, the Sunshine State Bridge going across the Tampa Bay will close, according to FHP, when the winds reach 40 miles per hour. The other bridges, the FHP will make a judgment call on those. So if you're on the other side of the bridge, in those mandatory evacuation zones, and the bridges get closed, you're stuck. You have to ride it out. There's nobody coming to get you. 2 p.m. local time is when local authorities expect the tropical storm force winds to move into this area. 8 p.m., hurricane force winds, and they'll remain for 9 hours. So these old structures will get battered for 9 hours by hurricane force winds, and that's not necessarily the biggest problem. The following day, Monday, 2 p.m. to 10 p.m., that's when the storm surge moves in. That will take you through 6 p.m., which is roughly high tide. So you're going to have a lot of water moving into the area. That is why those mandatory evacuations are in place for 15 feet above sea level and below, Zone A, Zone B. They're asking people to respect those orders. Get out of town now and don't come back until sheriff's deputies and other authorities can make an assessment of the risk in those areas. Judge?
All right, Mike, just a quick question. When you talk about, people who are staying there, who don't see it as dangerous or don't believe that it is as bad as people say it's going to be, Sheriff says he's not going to go get them and jeopardize his men and women on the force. But if people think it gets better when the hurricane is over, they don't really, I don't think people understand that the next day is even worse, the storm surge, and then the day after when you've got power lines down, you've got no power, you don't have water, you don't have food. I mean, this is a long process.
And it doesn't seem to reach a lot of people. A lot of people want to come out and see the storm. You've always seen the people who want to go out and play in the waves, etc. When it starts getting seriously out there, then there is no one to come get them. And you do have people who are out drinking. They're in the bar. You can hear the music right behind me right now. People who don't take it seriously, they're out here just thinking they've been through this before, they've been through other hurricanes, they're going to make it through this one. The thing that you've heard from the governor on down, people trying to say, you haven't seen a storm like this. 1921 is the last time Tampa took a direct hit, and they're expecting to take a direct hit tomorrow, and it's going to last for a while. As you mentioned, when the wind event is over, we haven't seen the worst yet.
Interesting. Mike Tobin, stay safe. Thanks.